Hi, this is Dave Birkett, Michigan football beat writer for AnnArbor.com, back with my colleague Mike Rothstein to preview another Michigan football weekend. Mike, we're not going to talk much about the football game this weekend, Delaware State.
I really wanted to. Honestly, I was all excited to talk about, the Hornets and how they're really bad and 1-3, playing bad competition. But you're probably right. We should. No one really cares.
Everybody thinks Michigan's going to win this game. You and me both, lopsided. No matter how much or how little Tate Forcier plays, depending.
45-3.
Right. But it's the midpoint of the season. Michigan's 4-2. I think it's a spot that a lot of people kind of expected them to be in right now, even if it's not exactly how they expected them to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what threw a lot of people off, maybe got a lot of people excited, was that win over Notre Dame. The way Tate Forcier looked in those first couple of games, the way the defense looked against Tim Hiller in the opener. Because remember, Tim Hiller, everybody thought, or at least I thought, was going to be an NFL quality quarterback this year, and he hasn't really shown that. So I think that maybe got expectations a little bit higher, and I think Rich Rodriguez, throughout the entire time, did a little bit of tempering on that, even though, he tried the best not to because he wants to keep confidence. But this is about where you thought they'd be, because they still didn't go on the road until a couple weeks ago, and you saw that, they struggled a bit on the road, and they played, well in the last 4 minutes against Michigan State, and, the defense has been shaky, and it's all the things, that you probably thought that you would see.
Right, and I think if you take a step back and look objectively at Michigan and what you thought at the beginning of the year, to lose on the road at Michigan State, to lose on the road at Iowa, those aren't bad losses, especially the way that they were. I know it's tough to swallow for some fans, but being as close as they were, Michigan's really played 4 games down to the wire. That's been a great sign, I think, for the future. And the other big revelation to me this first half of the season has been the play of Tate Forcier at quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the way that Carlos Brown played before he got concussed was also pretty surprising, and the fact that he's been able to stay healthy is a big deal, and he's given Michigan a spark and maybe a more speed guy to complement Brandon Minor in the backfield. But you're right, Tate Forcier has been a complete surprise. I don't think many people thought he would have come out of the gate as well as he did, and in the past few weeks he's shown a little bit of regression, but that's in large part probably due to his shoulder AC sprain and the concussion from last week that apparently happened on the last play that he was in. So I think that, he's been the big surprise in the way he's led, and especially his fourth quarter play.
I think if Tate gets healthy, he's going to continue to progress. We're going to see more of Minor and Brown here. And to me, I think the one thing that Michigan has to do, the defense, I know the defense hasn't been great, but they started to make a few strides last week. Still gave up the big plays on third downs, but if they can get some of the wrinkles ironed out on defense, I think we're still looking at a 7-5, 8-4 if they get all the breaks type team that goes to the Insight Bowl, the Alamo Bowl, something like that.
I think 7-5 is a very solid number, and a number that most fans at the end of the day should probably be happy with. Defensively, Troy Wolfolk moving back to corner, and again another surprise, but he looked pretty good on Saturday, which makes you wonder, well, why wasn't he there the whole time? And then that goes into other questions. But I think another surprise defensively was Jordan Kovacs. I don't think they probably expected that he'd be a guy who could make 17 tackles in a game like he did against Michigan State. And the defensive line has also played well. Brandon Graham obviously has done well, but Mike Martin, Ryan Van Bergen have really played maybe better than expected. Same thing with Craig Rowe, the true freshman. There's still some questions at that linebacker spot, but I think the defense is getting better, but they still have a long way to go.
Graham's starting to come around. Donovan Warren's been a playmaker. Real quick before we wrap up, who do you have Michigan losing to from here on out?
Wisconsin, Ohio State, Penn State. And, you never know what will happen at Illinois being a road game, but I got to say those 3, and that's what I'm going to stick with.
Yeah, Illinois is looking like one of the worst teams in the Big Ten right now. Purdue at home, you should win that. I think Penn State and Ohio State are losses, but I think Michigan has a shot against Wisconsin. So I guess we'll see.
Have you been to Camp Randall?
I've been to Camp Randall. Great place.
I haven't. I've just heard about it. I see the videos, and it's just, honestly, I'd be intimidated to play there. But then again, I'm not playing college football these days.
I was a little bit tougher place to play, and I think a better team. So we'll find out here in the next few weeks. Be sure to join us on AnnArbor.com next week when we talk more Michigan football. I'm Dave Birkett.
I'm Mike Rothstein.
And we'll see you again. Take care.